DeVoe here, and I'm so excited to be with you here today and help bring this webinar to you. I met Cheryl not too long ago, just through a mutual acquaintance, and after about 10 minutes of speaking with her, I knew I had to help her get her message out to more people. Cheryl is such an inspiration. She was just recently featured on the New York Times billboard for being recognized as being such an inspirational and awesome entrepreneur. She was just on the cover of Soul Central magazine. She's written multiple books, started multiple businesses, and all of this from a pretty difficult situation. Cheryl found herself as a single stay-at-home mom, and she pulled herself up and made all of these things happen. And now she's excited to help share with you some of the things she's learned along the way. So without any more from me, here's Cheryl.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Cheryl Jacobs, and I am so happy to do this with you. So I wanted to share with you why I'm doing this, because when I was a teenage mother, I was literally living in poverty, and I had to go to local churches to feed my children, cans of beans and loaves of bread, and to finish out my college education on the last 8 days, right before college education, I had a car that had a loose fuel filter and blew twice. So I had to hitchhike 50 miles across Ohio to Kent State to finish out my eight days of education, and I finished with honors in aeronautical engineering. And one thing that I learned after graduating from college is that I didn't spend enough time with my children. I was working, I was going through a divorce, and I had to work about 80 hours a week just to be able to afford having 2 small children in the house. So one of the things that I want to teach you is how you can do something where you can spend more time with your children. You don't have to work for somebody else. You can work for yourself. And I want to share with you my success tips. I've started 10 successful businesses, and I want to share my secrets with you. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen with you so we can all join along together here. So as I was saying, I was a single mother with 2 children, 2 small children living in poverty, and I launched 10 successful businesses and gained financial freedom. So I want to help you do the same. So these are my children. When they were really small. They're older now, but when I was working 80 hours a week, I didn't get to see many of the precious moments of, you know, when they start walking and they start talking and everyday life with them. So the reason why I'm really wanted to help everybody is so that you can spend more time with your children or your family or your friends, where I'm going to give you necessary tips where you can do so. So today's online event is how to launch your own business or to scale your own business to the next level. So have you ever had somebody tell you that you're not strong enough to do something, that you shouldn't do this, and they put you down and they tell you that you shouldn't be doing that? Well, you know, I'm also a pilot. You know how many people told me that girls should not be pilots and girls should not be CEOs and all of those kind of things? So many people did that to me. And so now people look at me now and they think that life has probably been easy for me. I did get married at 18 to my high school sweetheart. And by the time I was 19, we had 2 small children, lived in poverty, and going to local churches for cans of beans and milk and cheese just to feed my children. And for 3 long years, I was married to an abusive alcoholic, drug addict. And so every single day, I was always praying for a way to get out of this. And so That's why I wanted to help people to get out of their own way, take control of your life. I'm going to help you take away all the overwhelm and distractions that there are out there and help you guide you along the way. And I know how busy it is with children, and it's hectic, and you have to be good at managing your time. And I'm going to show you how you can achieve that through my methods of what I learned along the way. Where do you find the time? I personally get up at 5 a.m. So from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., I work on my business, in my business, every single day. As soon as I wake up, I write down what I can do that day to bring my business to the next level, or what I can do to make my business better or my personal life better, what I want to achieve for that day. From 5 to 8. So you can get up early in the morning before your children get ready for school, or you have to make breakfast for your spouse, or whatever you have to do, get to work or whatever. Or there's other times that you can do it on your lunch break, or instead of at nighttime, you're ready to watch Netflix before you go to sleep. And a lot of people do this. They have a long day and they don't want to do any more work. But those last hour or two of night before you go to bed is perfect time to build on your business. You can do these things. I mean, just look at how many times you look at Facebook a day. And if you sit there and you write down all these times that you schedule a day, like write down for the entire week where you spend each hour of your day. And I can guarantee you, when you go back and you look at the time that you're spending on Facebook, or you're spending on Netflix, or you're spending on things that don't really matter, you can be spending that time working on your business and improving yourself in your personal and professional life. And one of the biggest mistakes that everybody makes is trying, when you're a business owner, you wear all the hats, especially in the beginning, and you tell yourself constantly, nobody can do this better than me. And this is the one thing that's going to give you burnout, the quickest thing that's going to give you burnout. One thing that's always helped me is delegating jobs. I have a virtual assistant. They're very easy to find on Upwork or Fiverr. You can find a virtual assistant to answer your emails, answer your phones. I have somebody that does my blog posts for me. I have somebody that shares all my blogs on social medias. I even have somebody that does my laundry and cleans my house, so I can focus on the big picture on making my business successful. And it took me a long time to figure this out. And going to Tony Robbins events or working with life coaches, delegating jobs is the number one thing that's going to help you find time to focus on your business going to the next level. So at the end of this webinar, for joining me, I'm going to offer you guys some gifts for joining me as my way of saying thank you, to go further with everything, to what you need to get started, fast track to your success, and have everything to have the opportunity to work with me in the end. So, who here would like to know how to launch your own business and gain financial freedom? I'm sure all of you probably would like that. So as Roger was saying before, I was featured on a billboard in Times Square, and it's by Power, which is Professional Organization of Women Empowerment Recognized. And they featured me on this billboard in Times Square for about a week. And it shows my two companies, the Elite Flight Club and Kids Party Characters. And quite honestly, I was a model for 23 years. And when they told me that they were going to feature me on this billboard, I cried for 3 days. I modeled for 23 years and I never landed a billboard until Power recognized me. And also, I'm also a pilot, as some of you may know. I have been flying since 2005. I got my private license in 2005 and recently got my instrument and commercial rating through a flight club that I joined out here in New Jersey. So today I own my own business called Kids Party Characters, and I'm taking it global. I started my company with only 2 employees, me and my business partner, and 20 costumes. And because of my drive to succeed, I now have over 250 characters. I'm in 4 states, and I have 70 plus employees. And in addition to my Kids Party Characters company, I have also written 4 books, 3 of which are bestsellers on Amazon. If you Google Cheryl Jacobs, you can find my books on Amazon. And it shows you my journey from being a teenage mother living in poverty to owning 9 successful businesses. My kids company is my 9th business, and my 10th business in my Elite Flight Club, which is a private jet charter company. So if I can do this, if I can take myself from living in poverty, hitchhiking to finish my college education, so can you. With the right guidance, you can do it too. So why is it so hard to get these results for everybody? Well, we all know that everybody is different, as well as their situations when it comes to our careers. You might be a stay-at-home mom. You might work part or full-time. You might have the desire to start your own business. And since everybody's experiences are different, I'm going to give some common example to try and help everybody through it. So I want everybody to meet Susan. So let's imagine that there's a woman named Susan. Susan has 3 children, and she's separated from her husband, and her failed marriage has made her feel insecure and incapable. She rarely sees her ex-husband, and he doesn't really help out with the children, so she pretty much has to do it all. Plus, she's working 30 hours a week. So you can see that Susan obviously has a lot on her plate, and I'm sure some of you could probably relate to this. Susan's financial picture is very bleak, and even though she makes money, she rarely has anything left over. Her family is living from paycheck to paycheck, and the worst part, she doesn't even enjoy working for someone else. She's making them rich while she barely is making a minimum wage. Plus, she has to fill up her car, drive to work, spend 8 hours, and then come back. So she's gone about 10 hours a day from her children. And to top it off, she doesn't even get some holidays off to spend with her children. So you can see that this is a pretty bleak situation for Susan, and she is always searching for a way to have a better life. And she would pray, as well as I prayed when I was in my situation, to get better. And I wish I would have known then what I know now. So what is the solution? And to take control of your life and build your own business. So I'm going to show you the 3 pillars on how you can be a successful entrepreneur. Pillar number 1 is getting started. One of the biggest things when you start your own business, you're going to have a lot of naysayers telling you, why are you doing this? You shouldn't do that. You should spend more time with your kids. You know, you're a bad parent for not spending time with your kids, and you shouldn't be doing this. So the number 1 thing that has really helped me to become successful is surrounding myself by the right people. And unfortunately, it's going to be some people that you're going to have to get rid of out of your life, including maybe friends that you've had for 20 years, or even family members are going to be the negative people. You just have to surround yourself with people who have like interests in you and who are going to push you to be better than you are today, who's going to clap when you succeed. Those are the kind of people that you need to surround yourself with. Is so important for your mindset. It doesn't matter how strong of a person you are. If you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be successful. When I started my children's company, I worked for someone else for 1.5 years, and I learned everything, pretty much what worked and what didn't work. And he was sending out girls in cheap Party City costumes, and honestly, the clients were very upset. So those are one of the things that I learned. My costumes are all handmade by tailors, and they're beautiful, beautiful costumes, one of a kind, and you won't find that. So I say work for someone else in your field of interest for like 1 year to 1.5 years to learn the ins and outs, what works and what doesn't, and just kind of look at it as like a mentorship. And do your research too. If you're planning on starting a certain kind of business, see what your competitors are doing. See what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and look at their reviews and see what clients are saying. And don't mimic everything that they're doing, but take examples from what they're doing and make it your own. So if you just take the first step, that's the first 3 steps that I'm going to say that you have to do to get your business going. And the next step is pillar number 2 is time management. So set aside work hours, just the same that you do with your family and your friends. It can be as simple as getting up early in the morning, like I do, 5 a.m. I work 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on my business every single day, sometimes even on Sundays. Turn off your phones. Make sure that you don't have Facebook in front of you. Don't have your phone ringing in front of you. You know, if you have children, do it when they're sleeping. This is the best time to get focused on what your work is. And, you know, if mornings don't work for you, do it on your lunch break. Do it before you go to bed, when after the children are sleeping, or when the phones have died down, the emails have died down. That's the best time to do your work on your business. Trust me, if you cut out a lot of the Facebook and Instagram scrolling and the Netflix, you will find the time. And there's simple tools that you can use too. Like, I will schedule all my posts in one day for Facebook. So every single day I have posts scheduled for a month in advance. So every single day in the morning, 8 a.m., it's like an early morning hello to all of my clients and all of my friends. They're going to see exactly what's going on at 8 a.m. every single day, like clockwork. So, and you can schedule these on Facebook. You can schedule it on Instagram. On YouTube, it allows you to schedule things as well. You can schedule email blasts too on things like Aweber or MailChimp. You can do those kind of things that schedule it so that you can schedule everything for the month in advance, and then you can work on the big picture on the other time. You don't have to worry about trying to get these all every single day. Also, delegating your time. You know, you can find somebody on Fiverr, you can find somebody on Upwork who can do your emails for you, who can do your sharing on social media, who can write your blogs for you, who can answer your phones, do your emails for you. Or if you're like me, you can also have somebody do your laundry and clean your home, because I don't want to spend 3 hours doing laundry when I could be doing 3 hours working on my business. And then write it down each week. And then once you see it in front of you, you can see where you can find the time. See how many hours you're watching Netflix. See how much time you're spending scrolling through Facebook, or whatever it is that's sucking up your time. Write it out, and at the end of the week, look at it. And number 3 definitely is getting your mind in the right space. Surrounding yourself with people who clap for you when you succeed, who are positive, who push you to be a better version of yourself. And unfortunately, you know, some of the people that you're going to have to get rid of are your family members. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some people that are like, you know, oh, go dress up like a 5-year-old. I love dressing up like a Princess Sophia or a Princess Elsa and seeing the kids light up when I walk in there. I'll dress like a 5-year-old every single day if I'm bringing joy to some child's birthday for their in their family for the rest of their life. They're going to remember that for the rest of their life. My podcast coach, he remembers when Batman came to his party when he was a little child, and he still remembers that's one of the shining moments of his birthday when he was a child. And make a list. Make a list of who you want to be around, like good and bad, if they're naysayers, if they're not, if they're helping you succeed, if they're like-minded, if they have the same interests of you. Make a list of these people. Someone, you know, who can stay and who can go. So if you are ready to take care of your life and start your own business, in a moment, I'm going to make you an offer to say my way of saying thank you for joining me on this webinar. So you can work on a beach, you can work on a beach, you can work anywhere you want, because there's so many online businesses that you can start and you can work from anywhere. And another thing I must mention is, like, don't fall into this trap. The best thing to do is find coaches that are gonna help you along the way. But just remember, not everybody is qualified to help you. Not everybody should be teaching you things because they don't have proven results. Find someone that has proven results, someone that has people that they can refer you to that they've worked with before, then they can tell you what they've done for them and things like that. There's so many, get rich schemes out there, and there's no shiny object at the end of the rainbow that you're going to get rich quick. I mean, there are some people that do get lucky. Yes, there are, but they lose it because they don't know how to work to get it, because they got lucky, and then they lose it all because they don't know how to invest it. So just make sure who you're hiring, make sure they have proven results, and talk to their clients. So of course, you know that I own my own children's company, and I have created a system where you too can own your own Kids Party Characters company. So if you are a stay-at-home mom who'd like to enjoy the freedom of your own business, build a 6-figure income working from home, and get started at a low cost and low hassle. You have no overhead with my business. All you need is a small bedroom or a small storage space for costuming. It's not a brick and mortar. If you are an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur at heart, and your current business is draining you, and you have to work very hard to get new clients, or you would like a second source of income. And with my company, referrals, I do so much business by referrals, because when one child's family is happy about their events, they're going to tell 10 of their friends, and those friends are going to tell 10 of their friends. So my business is huge, huge on referral business. And it's a business that you can do part-time at your own schedule, so you can use it as a second source of income. So if running your own Kids Party Characters is a business that you would consider, it's very low to start this business. And it's, like I said before, it's massive repeat business, really high referrals. It's super easy to operate, and in less than 6 years, I grew it over six figures, and we're closely getting to the 7-figure mark. It's tons of fun, and the children, you don't even understand the brightness that comes onto their face when they see their favorite character walk into the room, and they actually believe up until 8 years old that they're seeing the real Spider-Man or the real Elsa or the real Iron Man or whatever it is their favorite character is. And with this company too, you get a 50% gross profit on revenue, which means you take the deposit, the entertainers will get the balance upon arrival. So you get 50%, a little bit more actually on some of these events that I book, a little bit more than 50% is your profit. So if you would like to start a Kids Party Characters business and you purchase the license, this is what you will get. You're going to get an exclusive geographical area. There's going to be a 90-minute radius around you, and no one else can purchase in that area. You're going to get right to all my costuming, my seamstresses, all of my costumes, because when I first started this company, there's so many companies out there that will send you a beautiful picture of Disneyland or whatever, and then when it comes to you, it looks nothing like the picture. So I've done my research, and I know which companies send out beautiful mascots. I have, and my tailor as well. She makes beautiful princess gowns. And my superheroes, they look like they came right out of the movie. I have a casting director on staff who will train your employees. So by the time they get to you, they will all already know what's expected of them. And as a special bonus for watching this webinar with me, I am also going to, after you have your staff in place, I'm going to personally fly to where you are and train them for the weekend. So I've created a 6-module online training course, which includes videos from how I broke down my entire company on how to run it. And it includes PDFs and worksheets. And then you can also email me with any questions that you have along the way. There's a constant support system for everybody. So this obviously isn't for everybody. You know, if it is for you, if you love working with children, you enjoy talking to people, because you're going to have to, especially in the beginning, before you hire somebody to do your emails and your phones, you're going to have to talk to a lot of stay-at-home moms or grandmas who want to book these parties. So you're going to have to be able to enjoy working with people. If you're tired of working a JOB, which stands for just over broke job, this is for you. If you want to spend more time with your family and friends, this is for you. It's not for you if you don't enjoy working with children, if you don't like talking to people, if you enjoy making somebody else rich at your job, then it's not for you. So as a bonus for joining me today, I'm also offering you a free 30-minute consultation mentorship with me. There should be a link that's connected right there for you to join. You can do a 30-minute mentoring session with me. Ask me any questions that you like. And also, I'm offering you, my third book is How to Become Financial Freedom by Bringing Joy to Children. And it also includes parenting tips and entrepreneurial tips and all the great features that we offer here in Kids Party Characters. So I'm offering that free too for joining me today. So if you want to have a mentoring session with me, the link is right here, and it's my Calendly, so just set up anything. If you have any questions, you can ask me now down at the bottom. There should be a area for you to ask any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Again, I am so happy that I could share this with you, and I hope I've brought some enlightenment on your day. And again, I'm Cheryl Jacobs, and thank you so much for joining.
Wow, great job, Cheryl. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so if you're watching this and you want to just find out more, you're curious about Cheryl's opportunity. I mean, one of the first businesses that I ever had personally was a franchise business. And it took out all that guesswork. It took out all of the complications of how do I start and run my own online business? And that's one of the great things about having it. So if you're interested, click that book 15-minute call now and get in touch with Cheryl. You won't regret it.